Gas Network presents Sports for the Culture.
I'm here with the family.
Bryce, XXV, Double I.
Rome.
D-Malo.
Bro Flying.
T-Boogie, man.
Just the greatest sports show on the planet. La Familia. Hope y'all ready for a ride.
Can't wait to hear what you guys got to say.
Welcome to another great episode of Gas Presents Sports for the Culture. I'm tonight's host, your man Young Rome 22. If you're new out there, hit that like button, that subscribe button, that follow button, wherever you may be. We got a packed show for you tonight. We got a lot of sports topics to get into, a little Christmas shopping we're going to get into, get you guys right for the holidays. But before we do any of that, I'm going to let the fellas introduce themselves. I'm going to start with the top right.
T-Boogie, man. I never get to introduce myself first. I'm in the top right. I'm in the driver's chair, baby. Wash your hands, wash your ass. You know, they trying to make it seem like the COVID never existed, but I'm on to you. A lot of people been sick this past month. You know what I'm saying? Especially the last 2-3 weeks. So keep washing your hands, keep washing your ass. And let's have a good show, man. A lot of good topics. I'm ready. Let's get it.
Yeah, definitely a lot of good topics today, man. And you're right, T. It has been a little sickness going around, man. Everybody need to stay healthy out here. And I'm gonna kick it to the next person, which is going to be the bottom right, the resident Giants fan.
It's your boy D-Malo. That's it. Let's go.
Oh man, he was a field goal kick away from being a little bit more energetic tonight, but here we are. And last but never least, man,
The same one
top
you
left.
prayed for that didn't hit. So don't talk.
Oh, man. At Bryce, XXV, Double I, a.k.a. Mr. Big Leaguer, a.k.a. the good mister. Hey, is it just me or did G's intro sound like a battle rapper when they just mad at the world? They just want to get right to the rap. They be like, yeah, it's me. Let's go. Like, yo, introduce yourself, man. Come on, man.
Hate y'all. Love y'all. Hate y'all. Love y'all. Hate y'all again.
Nah, man, we
What's up,
definitely
world? It's your boy. But nah, this is. But I'm gonna let all my nuts hang in when we talk about the Giants.
yeah,
Until
we
then, I'm
definitely
gonna tuck them back in.
we definitely gonna get into that, man. It was getting a little spicy before the show started with the NFC East talk, man, as it always is. But before we head into the NFL, man, let's talk about one of the all-time greats from the NFL and Deion Sanders, man. As we all know, he started a program out there at Jackson State at HBCU, which was pretty damn successful and it got a lot of attention. But what's getting even more attention right now is the fact that he's leaving Jackson State to head to Colorado. I know this invokes a lot of emotion, a lot of conversation about a lot of different things, not just sports, man. It could reach out into culture as well. So let's start this conversation with our first initial thoughts when we heard the news. Bryce, I'm gonna start with you on this one, man. What did you first think when you heard Coach Prime would be going to Colorado?
First thing I thought was, damn. That was the first thing I thought, man. That was the first thing went to my head. I was like, damn, because like, you know, it was inevitable, right? But it shouldn't have been. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, he had an opportunity to really change, and I feel like he missed out on the opportunity. I feel like he had a great opportunity with Colorado Buffaloes, but he had the opportunity of a lifetime, the opportunity of a century, perhaps the opportunity of like, definitely I'd say the opportunity of like a generation to like make some long-standing change and to really change an institution that has had very little change in a long time. So, you know, missed that opportunity, but is what it is, I guess. You know, when we really get into it, I got more thoughts, but that's just the initials, man.
T, what was your initial thoughts?
You know, when they started speculating it, you know, I wasn't a fan of the move. To me, it's akin to, and I've said this in the chat, in the group chat, it's akin to Triller buying verses from Swiss Beats. You know what I'm saying? Essentially, Swiss Beats and Timberland selling verses. Like, you had something that changed the landscape, changed the culture, and you sold it, you know, a seat at Triller. So basically, Deion basically sold what could have been something that, they taught kids about in school on Black History Month for a coaching job, which is his prerogative. You know what I'm saying? Like, every man got to make their own destiny, walk their own path. But I just hate the idea of sacrificing the greater good. And I know it ain't on Dion to save the culture, right? But he was in the driver's seat and he talked it up, and just a little disappointed. I'm not mad. I'm not angry, but I'm just a little disappointed in how things went. But I do wish him the best in Colorado. He still has a chance to kind of change college football in a lesser way, but he still has the opportunity.
Not mad, not angry. I could understand that point of view. G, what were your thoughts when you heard Coach Prime was leaving Jackson State for Colorado? You muted, my boy.
Not much surprised him leaving, but him taking that job. Colorado, I don't like the program. They haven't been relevant since the '90s, and like that, I don't know. I guess there's another. I guess this is a guy that likes challenges, but you figure that he was gonna leave eventually. Is it soon? I don't think so. I think he left at the perfect time.
Nah, that's a good point, G, because that's kind of where I was at with it too. Why Colorado? I think a lot of the problem people are having with it is they feel like you had something magical going on at Jackson State and you left it to go to Colorado. So my next question is like, does the choice of it being Colorado factor into, the overall decision? Like, would you guys be more open to him making this decision had it been like a bigger school, like let's say the U?
I mean, from a football standpoint, you get to a Power Five, you get to the East Coast. I mean, the U is Miami, it's prime time. It makes sense. Colorado, like, I can't imagine a lot of people being willing to send their kids to go play for Coach Prime at Colorado, considering what we have on the West Coast already. You know what I'm saying? You could go to Stanford, you could go to USC, you could go to Oregon. I don't know. Like, he took a tougher road than I imagined. I would even took maybe a Central Florida something over going out there west and trying to recruit. It's gonna be tough for him.
I'm gonna say I don't think you can't be surprised because he's not gonna go to the U. He went to Florida State. He'd be disrespecting his own alma mater, the school he played for. I don't think he'll choose any Florida team unless it's Florida State. The initial job that he wanted before going to Jackson State, the job that technically he went out for before he even took a college job, the one he went out for. So it's a Power Five school programs, but Colorado's one of those. Oh, it's like the ugly duckling. Like
I mean, we got to get a
Bruh.
little real about it here. So, like, because part of the reason that he probably chose Colorado, because it feels like he's leaving Jackson State, which was something special for the culture, to go to Colorado. But I think a big factor and the big elephant in the room here is the money.
Bro, the
Do we?
money. I think you're right about that, Rome. I mean, what, $5 million a year?
it's not. I mean, that's nothing. Come on, man. We're not gonna say it's the money. It's not like Jackson State. Let's be realistic, guys. Were you guys watching Jackson State, Florida beforehand, or anybody was watching HBCU college games
We was watching, bro. The attendance
on the regular? On the regular?
attendance
On the
and
regular?
viewership went up crazy.
I went to a
But that's
Because of him.
Go
but
ahead,
that's
Rome.
kind of the point.
Prior to him.
But that's kind of the point, G, is because of Prime, it had much more eyes, much more attention on it. And now that he's leaving, that attention will likely leave with him. And I think what T and Bryce are kind of getting at is, are you going to be able to do create that same type of magic at a Colorado?
And,
That
and
seems like the far-fetched part.
and mind you, Colorado's in the Pac-12 or Pac-10 or Pac-13 and a half, whatever it is now. And bruh, they were 1-11. They were 1-11, bruh. Like, hey, Prime, your legacy as a coach now, right, hinges on if you're able to turn around the Colorado Buffaloes who are 1-11, right?
That's not hard.
Oh, pause. Maybe it's not, bruh, but it could be. It could be. You got some tough teams in there, and you're gonna have a lot tougher schedules. Now, also think about this, right? I actually recently went through a job change myself, right? And one of the things in the crossroads of my job change, right, was where I was a big fish in a small pond. And where I'm going to, although I'm gonna get hope, I'm gonna be getting more money, but I'm a smaller fish in a big ass pond, bro. Dion had the opportunity to be the biggest fish in a smaller pond, right? But the biggest fish, bro. He could have ran the way the path Jackson State was on. They could have ran the FBS, bro. Instead, he decided to be a small fish in a big ass pond because you're not catching Saban, bro. And if you do catch Saban, it's gonna take a cool 10 years, bro, to catch what he's. You're not catching Saban. Let's just say that, bro. You're not catching Lincoln Riley, right? You're not catching freaking what's my man that got Michigan. You're not catching Michigan State, bro. You're not catching these schools that are like, you're not even catching Maryland and Mike Locksley, bro. Like, there's a reason that these big time Power Fives weren't clamoring for Deion Sanders. You know why? Because there's better coaches, college coaches out there, bro, that have proven they can do it on this level. Now, I feel like Prime's coaching career hinges on this. But like we said in the group chat, his motivation was one of two things, bro. It was either the money, which $5 million is nice, but he's already rich, or he just wanted to coach his sons. And Deion Sanders is nothing but LeVar Ball with an actual sports resume to back himself. And that's what I'm going with, bro. I think he just wanted to coach his kids, bro. And really, the man is just LeVar Ball, but he also actually was nice in sports. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm going with.
All right, well, let me throw it out there like this also. Let's look at it from this perspective. Is what Dion did at Jackson State was something special, right? We can all agree on that. But the heat that he's taken, is it all the way fair criticism, or should we be looking at it like, Dion went to a HBCU, maybe another, big time African American coach or former player that wants to get into coaching comes and they try to go the same path? Because maybe Dion's showing you, hey, you don't have to go to these predominantly white schools to get into a Colorado. Maybe the path can be put these HBCUs on the map. Maybe more than just Dion should be doing it, because a lot of the times I feel like in the culture we look at one person or one man or woman as, the person that's supposed to lead the culture. Well, maybe they're just supposed to be the spark to get everybody to realize that, it's more than one way to go about certain things.
But Rome, get them to realize what, bro? That the HBCUs can be the stepping stone. Like, that's always the thing, bro. Like, the black thing is always the path to the greater thing. And I'm not going to put another label on the greater thing. We'll just call it greater because that's what everyone seems to think. Obviously, Deion thought Colorado was greater than Jackson State. So the blueprint he's showing is that you use the HBCUs as a stepping stone to get
before Deion, though, the HBCUs weren't even a stepping stone to get there. They just were an afterthought completely.
Bro, you think Deion Sanders is the first ever coach to go from the HBCU ranks to coaching?
Definitely not. But that's definitely not the typical path to get into that.
No, it's not. It's not. I agree, but like
most people would go be an assistant at one of those PWIs.
But that blueprint is like, what is that blueprint showing, bro? He could have stayed and had a real blueprint, bro. Yo, come build up this school, and guess what? We're gonna force them to make us FCS, bro. We're gonna run the FBS for so long, bro. We're going FCS now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got that much money now. We're bringing in that much revenue now. Now we're playing Alabama. Now we're going to be in the college football playoff. That's land.
Should it be just on Deion to do that though, or should there be a group of people that are willing to invest in the HBCUs like that? Because I agree with you.
It shouldn't be just on Deion.
Isn't Eddie George already coaching in the SWAC? Off the top of my head,
that's a good question.
But I believe it.
He had the opportunity to show that, right?
Yeah, head coach at Tennessee State. Good call, T.
The black player, right? The black athlete is literally the workforce, right? It's the money maker, and taking the highest recruits and putting them into HBCUs only helps the HBCUs, right? Which helps the community, which helps the culture, and that's what he was doing, right? And it was bigger than football. And Deion said, no, this is about football. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was bigger than football. He said this is like he chose himself over uh, what could have been NCAA altering, right? He had Saban talking about Jackson State. You think Saban gonna talk about Colorado? Absolutely not. He absolutely won't care. And I totally get that. You can't really fault the guy, right? He wanted a promotion, but he had the opportunity to promote the entire conference, the entire culture, the HBCU. He could have promoted, like, if Deion's at Jackson State, you get another, maybe not a Deion, but like another Eric Bieniemy, maybe. You get somebody else to come in and go to Alcorn or another school to compete, right? Because Jackson State got a TV deal. That was part of it. And they still got that TV deal. And now that's visibility, right? If I'm an athlete, that TV deal is part of what's going to help get me drafted, right? People get to see me play. So if you get to see Jackson State play, if I go to another school in the conference, you get to see me play Jackson State. Like, everybody gets to recruit based on what Jackson State is doing, which lifts, you know what I'm saying? A high tide lifts all. And he basically said the tide is high enough. I'm gonna go over here and raise the tide at Colorado. And
yeah. And the problem is, he built it like he was here to change things, bro. That's the problem, bro. And honestly, I don't got no problem with Deion going for $5 million a year, bro. But when you come in and say, "Hey, I'm about to change this. We about to put HBCUs on the map. We about to make this happen. This is what's gonna happen. This is what I'm about to do. This is about to be the thing. We lasting. It's about to happen." And then, like, you go at the first offer, because, like, I ain't calling Colorado the first offer, but if it's not a Florida State, or, you know what I'm saying, it's not one of the big schools. Like, it's your first big offer, then we'll call it. You know what I'm saying? So you took the first big offer. Like, that don't resonate the same, bro. It don't resonate the same. And he had an opportunity, but it's not as bad as some people have made it. And I do want to clear up one thing, yo. I saw one of these pundits was totally wrong in what he said, but he basically compared the Brett Favre situation to the Deion situation, and was like, "Yo, all the culture ain't got all this smoke for Deion, but nobody was saying nothing about Brett Favre." And anybody that thinks that is totally wrong, bro. Because the culture was the only one holding Brett Favre to the fire, bro. It was the media that wasn't saying nothing about Brett Favre. So that's how crazy it is that, like, you actually, and this was a black person at that said this. But it's just crazy that, like, you got people twisted like that to feel like, you know, well, why y'all saying about Prime? Y'all ain't saying nothing about Favre. No, we're saying something about everything now, bro. If it ain't right, we're gonna say something, yo.
I'm kind of curious, Rome. You alluded to, is it on the next person to come up and kind of hold the torch, or, you know, saying, pick up the torch? If the next coach comes in, do you send your kid to go play with them, knowing that they're leaving in 2 years?
Well, that's another layer to it that Bryce just alluded to too. A lot of people are giving Prime the criticism because, you know, he talked all that stuff saying, you know, we're gonna do this, that, and the third, and it feels as if he's leaving before everything was accomplished. So I mean, you gotta hold people accountable for their word. Obviously, college is more than 2 years, so you'd like some type of commitment for your student, or if you are the student athlete or whatever, to know that your future is being looked out for, not just the short term. But no, I mean, if they're just gonna do 2 years, obviously you're not gonna put their faith in them. But I just feel like people are a little shocked at what Prime did, and I just feel like it's on brand for who Deion Sanders was, and has always been. And I just feel like what I'm getting at, I guess, is the overarching thing for the culture. Whenever somebody does something for Black culture in America, we tend to put somebody too high on a pedestal, in my opinion, or put too much of a light on them, when it's really more so the entire community that needs to get down with this. It shouldn't just be, oh, Prime was doing this at Jackson State, now he's leaving. And then it should be more of, why aren't we all doing this? Why aren't there more people coming to the HBCUs and putting more of that light on it? I feel like Prime made a decision for himself as a man. Bryce could be right. He's superstar LeVar Ball, really might just want to coach his boys, which I can't even be mad at that as someone who has boys and is into coaching. So I could understand that side of it too. Um, But I do feel like that what gets lost in it is what he has done. Like the fact that we're having a conversation about Jackson State on the show right now, the fact that we have before, the fact that Jackson State has gotten primetime games. When I didn't know Eddie George was a head coach in the HBCU. You just mentioned it, T. You know what I'm saying? So obviously Prime was doing something right, and I think he left a small blueprint that people need to follow. He just ended it in the wrong way. I think it's going to leave a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth.
I
Y'all
got
But I
crazy.
but I also think if he would have chose a different school other than Colorado, I think people would have felt a lot different.
well, yes, because Colorado, what that represents to a lot of us is the total opposite.
All
Of the
right.
culture.
But I
So
got a question. I do got a question. If Prime goes to Colorado and fails, right? It just doesn't work. They don't get over 4 wins, 5 wins. Will his legacy be failing at Colorado?
well, he got what? How many years they give him on that contract?
It
He
was
got the
4.
length of that contract, 5 years. He got the length of that contract to turn Colorado around. That's a 1-11 football team. And what people got to understand in college football, it's not like the NFL where there's 52, right? You have like what 100 and probably 20 Bamas in your program. You know what I'm saying? And all of them kind of serve a purpose to a certain extent because it's like you're cycling players so often, right? Every year you got a class leaving, every year you got a class coming in. You know what I mean? So like, bro, he's gonna have to overhaul 100 players, bro. It's gonna take time, bro. Like it's gonna really take time to get guys that he wants out there. You know what I'm saying? That to teach those his schemes. Like it doesn't happen overnight in college football unless you're going to a program that already has those big time recruits. And Colorado is not that. So I think it's going to take some time to compete with those big names, bro. They might be 2-10 next year. You know what I'm saying?
It's
But
college.
I will say this too. I'm still rooting for Prime. I'm not really a
Oh, absolutely.
Colorado guy, but I'd like to see him turn Colorado around though. And I agree with you, Bryce. It's definitely going to take some time. But I think a lot of people are looking at it a certain way, but if you're a college athlete and you have the opportunity to play with one of the greatest players, one of the greatest athletes, like I feel like we're looking at it as Coach Prime, and it even says Coach Prime in the headline. But if we're keeping it real, we've had greatest athletes of all time conversations, and Dion has been in that category. You know what I mean? We've all talked about Dion in that light at some point or another. So I just feel like whatever college, whatever school he goes to, he's going to be able to pull some recruits just off name and recognition alone. So I think Colorado will get a strong opportunity in the next 2-3 seasons to make some noise.
That's what I was getting ready to say. I am on the other side of that coin. I don't think he's going to be able to recruit.
It's
Like,
not going to be easy, bro. Because you're going against
Y'all
Saban.
tweaking.
You're
Hold
going
on, hold
against
on.
you're
Let
going
me get
against
in
the
here.
big dogs, bro.
He
bro,
took a number one. He took one of the top 5 recruits last year at a
Yes.
school that doesn't have a training facility like those Power Fives. And now he's going to a Power Five program, which the training facilities are going to be way better.
hold
And
on.
Oh, so
the guy's
you
a
think
great
Saban is
recruiter.
disappearing?
He's
G,
not, but neither is Prime. Prime was
Okay,
if he
but
was
Colorado's not
come
Alabama,
on.
bro.
Okay, but now Colorado is better than Jackson State.
G, if you tell
Yeah.
me,
Exactly my point.
Okay,
If
okay,
you're
let me
gonna go
recruit.
to if you gotta get into a Power Five program, then you're gonna have to get in through
Yeah,
Colorado.
he's not
But
messing
let's
with
not
Dabo
sit here and
Swinney
be
off the
like
rip.
Jackson State has a great training facility. A lot of them, let's be realistic. There were reports the last 3 years coming out that a lot of these BCU colleges do not have great training facilities, and
Yes,
like
but
it's hard to
G, what
recruit.
you're missing is there's a lot
No,
of
what y'all
aspects to
missing
recruit.
is, and then y'all forget
Listen,
like the guys in the great recruiter.
nah,
Like
I'm
y'all
not
trying
saying
to
he's not a great
come
recruiter, but
on.
there's a lot of things that go into recruiting. Getting one recruit, bro, one top recruit it was a great feat. But think about it like this, bro. Most you're not just you have to get 80 dudes, bro. You're not just getting 5. All your recruits, most of your recruits aren't in that top 100. You might get 2 or 3 top 100s, and if you did that, you did an amazing job, right? And the rest of your guys, they're guys you really studied, and guess what else it is? It's guys from your region, right? So Alabama always gonna have a decent amount of Alabama fools on their team. Maryland, UMD, always gonna have a decent amount of Maryland fools on their team. Rutgers Always gonna have some New Jersey fools on their team
Whoa,
because
whoa, whoa, whoa,
because
whoa,
it,
whoa,
yes,
whoa!
look at the where you
Don't put
guys where you get
records.
Pacheco's
Don't
from,
put
man.
records
Like I'm
here.
saying,
Don't
bro,
put records
it's
here.
how college
That's
football works.
disgusting.
So how's the high school football in
No, because
Colorado? I'm gonna let you tell me. You tell me how the high school
Rutgers,
football because I don't know.
Rutgers
I think
can't even keep a good quarterback in state. New Rutgers can't even keep one of these
That's not
good
my point.
quarterbacks and stay
That's
in
not my
state.
point. That's not my point.
Exactly my
You're
point.
missing the point, bro.
You
A
could
lot
get
of the
these guys to
players,
come.
listen to my point, G. A lot of the players from these schools, right, are regional players. So they come from the area that the school is in. So now you have to look at Colorado as a region, and you have to think to yourself, how good is the talent pool in this state? Because you're gonna have to pull some players from Colorado, bro.
Just pull the top five. That's all you
where you're gonna
need.
start
And
losing.
That's all you need. Pull the top five. Pull the top five. That's
You
all
need
you
Katie
need.
Farmers on your
G,
team, bro.
That's
think
top
like
five.
Deion,
And it's not. And then you guys are making it sound like it's a hard feat. It's different if Colorado State was 7 and whatever, but they're only 1-11.
If it was Colorado
What?
State, I would say Deion made a better choice than going to Colorado. Colorado State,
Think
yeah, some ballers.
about it like this, G. Think about it like this, right? Dion got a high-ranked corner to come to Jackson State. Which, if I'm a corner, if I go to Jackson State, I don't care who's in the conference, I can cover them, no question, flat out. I can do that, right? Because nobody's going to beat me. Like I don't care who you got at Tennessee State, Alcorn, whatever else. You can't beat me. Like I'm the top guy. Now you take the top guy and you put him in a Power 5 conference. There are juniors, seniors out there that can do you dirty, right? Now you need your defensive line to actually get a pass rush. Now, if you're a running back, you need your offensive line to actually block. If I'm a running back and Deion recruit me to Colorado, the run behind that line that they currently have, my son can't go there.
Right. Exactly.
If my son is a quarterback and you want him to come throw to the guys that are currently there, my son can't go there.
Right.
Period.
Deion
But
going from Colorado once
okay. Your sons, but his sons are all going there with him. Deion is taking his sons too. It's not like he's not taking athletes.
Isn't his son about to be the starting quarterback anyway? I think y'all are vastly underrating his ability to recruit, Colorado's ability to recruit. I hear you on the region. I hear you on the region completely. And that's college football in a nutshell, really.
Right.
But we're talking about Nick Saban and all these guys like they're gonna last forever, like they're always gonna get the best recruits. I think you need people like Deion Sanders in college football. I think you need other big time names that can pull recruits from them. At least get these guys thinking about going to another school instead of going to the big name schools all the time. So I think y'all are just underrating his ability to get some big players in there. I think time will tell though.
That you could transfer out now. Transfer portal open every single season. You
Right.
recruit. I ain't even gonna say my son. You recruit me. I come in. I redshirt. The team wins 3 games next season. I'm out of there.
Thanks for the jacket. Thanks for the sweats. I'm out, bro.
3.
What I'm gonna stay for? I'm trying to go to the league, bro. That's the thing, bro. Jackson State, yo, Deion was dominant because he was getting those fringe players that got a shot to go to the league, but for some reason they can't go to the big D1. You know what I'm saying? He was stacked with them players, bro. And you get a whole bunch of them, you're gonna have a dog squad, even if you plan, no matter who you playing against. But now
you don't think you can get some of those
I just
boys?
feel like the assumption is that he's not going to be able to recruit good players.
No, he will, but it's gonna take time, bro. It's gonna
Okay,
take, if this is gonna succeed.
The way y'all are describing it is that these players are going to be gone after the one rough season. So I just feel like it's a bit of a reach.
You're gonna retain some, bro. But I'm saying it's not gonna be overnight, bro. It's all right.
I think it'll be about 2-3 years.
I want to remix T's question, right? Earlier, T asked, kind of like, what is it going to look like if Deion fails, right? So what I want to ask you guys is, what does the success look like, bro? In your mind, right? What is the success? Deion, Colorado, success. What is it, bro? I want to hear this, bro, because like I got my picture of it, but Rome, I want to hear yours first, man.
I mean, to me, success in Colorado, it would be tough because for me, him leaving Jackson State, for him to really be successful in my eyes in Colorado, it would have to be some type of culture oriented vibe. I mean, at Jackson State, he had Gilly out there on the sideline. Like so. I need something for the culture, man. It can't just be based off wins and losses. But also,
But
how
it
many
has to be
players you get?
based off wins and losses.
How many players you get to the league? All that because to me, college football is bigger than just wins and losses because you typically have the same colleges in the playoffs every year anyway. Your Georgias, your Alabamas, and all that type of stuff. Um, but how many players are you getting in the league? How many young men are you actually progressing? How many people is Deion Sanders actually to recruit to go to Colorado? Because if he can make a big splash in the recruit game and change the landscape of college football, I think that's a success, even if you don't win a national championship.
That's fair. That's fair. What about you, G?
For me, so it's a 5-year deal.
Yeah.
So by year 3, he has to be at least 2 games up 500, and then by year 5, he at least has to be a 10 game winning program. And not even at least, as long as because like what games are not like, well, how many games he play season 13?
12, 13 this year, maybe 14
All
sometime.
right, so let's say by year 3 he at least has to win 8 games, and then by year 5 he has to be at least a 10 win team program by year 5.
I, I'm kind of along the lines of you, G. Like, I need you to be near a double-digit win team by year 4 and 5. But I the I mean, for me, college football, college sports in general, really just comes down to recruiting. You guys think he'll be able to go recruit off the high? It's going to be a lot tougher recruiting in the big leagues, but at the end of the day, I guess, and into what Rome said too. I remember Ralph Friedgen. He made a bowl game here and there, but a big thing about Ralph Friedgen was he put guys pro. Schools like Iowa, Wisconsin, like we're going to put linemen pro. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get tight ends pro. So I think if you can make a niche where you got a certain skill position, like LSU got defensive backs. I mean, LSU's a big
Yeah.
general, but you know what I'm saying? Like all my receivers are tough. Then I'll consider you a success too if you can get young men to the league. But I don't think this is going to be as easy as walking in and pulling another Jackson State. Like we've seen that show already, right? We know what happens. And
But I think it was much easier at Jackson State. Like we
it,
just said earlier, the level of competition is nothing.
so
And then his sons were all D1 athletes that went to a school that was played around nothing.
how how
Not
do you
to discredit those guys, but they weren't all that great.
how do you feel if he does 3 years and leaves again?
As for me,
I think
why
that's a
why should
I think
we?
that's a possibility. I think what we need to realize is the man that we're talking about. How many teams did he play for in the league? You know what I mean? We said it in the group chat. He finessed the Commanders. He finessed the Ravens for a season. Like the man is going to chase a check, and we live in a capitalist society to where I'm not really going to knock any person for that. But yeah, T, you hit the nail right on the head. I wouldn't be surprised if if let's say for the sake of argument, Colorado turns around real quick. He's going to be up out of there if he's getting another offer from a bigger school. We know that. We know that to be true. Let's say it goes real horrible. I don't think prime time Deion Sanders sticks around for 3 or 4 years of 5 or less wins.
I got a question. So why do we criticize these kinds of? Why don't we criticize these white coaches when they do this? And why are we gonna kill Deion Sanders for leaving a program in 3 years? These white coaches get to get away with it every
I'm gonna
3 years.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you at least from my standpoint, G, because you went from bucking the system to participating in the system. You went
But
from
that's everybody.
that. It don't have to be everybody though. Like that's the thing, right? Everybody don't get the opportunity to be prime time. Everybody don't get the opportunity to come in and reset the algorithm. And he
But
affected
what the hell? Wait, how much did he really set the algorithm? Let's be
Jack.
realistic. What did he do? Did Jacksonville really get to play in these bowl games?
Nah, they FBS. I don't know if they get bowl games. I'm not sure if they get bowl games, but I
Hmm.
know what
So,
undefeated. They said he brung maybe $10 million yearly into the city. The whole facility has been upgraded. Like he's done a lot. we not taking that from him. He's done a lot.
So what algorithm did he disrupted? Well, he made a school actually start spending money on their programs.
Bro, we just told you the one that brought up he got the number one recruit. You don't think that disrupts the algorithm for an Alabama if Jackson
Not
State
really.
bro,
There's a lot.
Nah, it does.
all right.
How much is it really? One number one guy compared to the 30
Hey,
that are still playing in a pack.
It's a ripple effect.
He got.
I think
I don't really think so.
what the problem is they're right. They're right, G. It is a ripple effect. And the problem that you don't feel like it's that much of a ripple effect is because he's leaving after 3 years. If he stayed for another 5 to 10 and
Because
continued to build up the school, it'd be even bigger. And maybe they would get out the FBS. Who knows how far this could have went.
Unless these schools were participating in these bowl games, the ones that were watching through Christmas all the way to New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. It don't really matter. He didn't really do that much, but light to these guys, and then that's about it. These guys ain't participating in these bowls games.
Like this, G. We watch Alabama's, we watch Clemson's, LSU's, because we know those guys are going pro. We know they're going pro. We know it. So in year 4, year 5,
we even watch Notre Dame games, and Notre Dame isn't even in the conference.
Notre Dame is that. I mean, they built their own little legacy. And Jackson State could have too, but
but not really. Come on, not really. Let's be realistic, yeah. Like, not really.
Yeah, definitely. Really.
That's the point, really, bro.
That was the opportunity, right?
You gotta start. You have to start, bro. You have to start to build something. If you don't start somewhere, you're never gonna build nothing. And
G, the only reason
now somebody else to carry the torch.
Well, that's what I was saying. But the only reason you don't feel like he really disrupted the algorithm is because it was so short. Like you're not seeing the bigger vision.
Bro, let me tell you what disrupts the algorithm.
Unless these schools were gonna participate in these power rankings day in and day out, he didn't really disrupt anything. If anything, why Jackson State wasn't ranked 25?
How much time will that take, G? That's not gonna happen in 3 years. We're saying that he was on the path to something like that.
Gee, more people viewed, right? More people viewed the SWAC championship this year than viewed the Pac-10 championship this year. He's going from the SWAC to the Pac-10, but more people watch the SWAC championship than watch the Pac-10 championship. If you don't think that's disrupting the algorithm, bro, I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Because you know where advertisers go to? They go to where the eyes are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what else disrupts the algorithm, right? I'm gonna take it away from Prime. Like when Trey Lance, bruh, goes to Colorado State and goes top 3 in the NFL draft, that disrupts the algorithm too for a guy like Nick Saban, bro. You see what I'm saying? Like, so if Deion Sanders could have had Travis Hunter going top 5 in the draft, now guess what? He can go back to all the recruits and be like, yo, we got one going top 5 in the draft.
But all right, and let's take it back to the convo we were just having about recruiting, because that was my point about Deion. If you get 1 or 2 top recruits, you get a guy that goes top 5 in the draft, now all of a sudden more recruits are like, oh, well, they were able to get this guy top 5 in the draft, even though the season was kind of mid. Now I might have an opportunity to get that big payday too. And that is what Deion is going to sell to people, bro. He's got connections in the league, probably like most coaches, and probably a little bit more considering that he hasn't been coaching as long. Look, man, I'm trying to tell you guys, I don't think this is going to be a major failure. I think Bryce is right. It will take a couple years, but my last take on Prime to Colorado is I think he's going to do it again, man. I think he's going to have a similar run that he had at Jackson State, to where he's making a lot of noise and disrupting the algorithm.
Hold on, I do want to mention the point that part of recruiting, a huge part, is alumni and boosters, right? So Colorado's alumni and boosters, probably can spend more money than Jackson State's, maybe.
Oh yeah, no, by far, it's not even gonna be
right. So at the end of the day, though, that's also a big thing, right? NILs, deals like that, right? How can I recruit against USC and Oregon if Oregon knocks on my door like, hey, do you want to go? We're not maybe not Nike, but a Nike affiliate is willing to give your son $2 million to come here. How do you counter that if you're Dion, right? And
quick question: can you smoke pot in Colorado?
you,
I don't know if you can while
Yeah,
you're
you
in
can.
school.
That's one of those states, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
I think
okay. What do the youth like to do nowadays? In a state that's legally, and then you got Deion Sanders there as your coach. As long as you come play for
But
me,
you
my
don't
boy,
T
you
T
ain't
you
got to
don't
worry
think
about a drug test.
so what
you don't think that like the recruiters and the sponsors are gonna want to mess with Dion too? Like you don't think
And,
that like Nike's not gonna want to do a commercial with Dion and his top recruits?
I think
No, for sure,
early.
Ron. Like Dion gonna kill it on that. That's how Dion was able to get them so many things. Like I watched a little video that was showing like he got this whole Jackson State suits because of his relationship with Michael Strahan. He got a plug with United Airlines so they were flying first class, and flying in the nice planes everywhere. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
he had
Flight
Brittany
schedule.
Renner. He had Brittany Renner coaching them up.
Yeah, Brittany Renner giving them life lessons, right? But like, even with all that said, I still think he's got an uphill battle in Colorado. But I'll tell you what a success looks like to me, because I kind of had some technical difficulties when I was getting to that. A success for Dion, bro, is turning Colorado into the modern day U, bro. The modern day the U. If he turns them into the modern day the U, I'm gonna be like, hey, bro, you did enough with that for me to forget about, not forget totally, but for me to make amends with the Jackson State situation. But if he goes there, bro, and flames out after a year or two, if he goes there and they can't get it together, they're just a middling team, bro, you should have stayed at Jackson State. Hindsight would say you should have stayed at Jackson State.
Do you
Yeah,
think you can create the same type of atmosphere in a place where it's snowing during the season versus a place where you go to the game, you could go to the beach? Like if I'm a celebrity, I can go to Miami, watch the game, and enjoy myself. If I go to Colorado, what I'm doing other than skiing?
don't
Smoking
It's an
pot.
underestimate
uphill
Coach
battle,
Prime,
bro.
bruh. Don't
It's not gonna be
underestimate Coach
easy,
Prime. He definitely made it harder on himself. He definitely made it
So what do
harder
you
on
do? What do
himself.
you do in Jackson State for fun? Because I know there's no beach around there.
bro. No, it's lit. It's lit for
Bro,
fun in Jackson State, bro.
when you go to
Stop playing, bro.
Gee, that's like asking, what do you do when you go to Puerto Rico or the DR? Like,
Right.
you get around your people, it's lit.
It's lit, bro. It's lit. It's going up in Jack, bro. The one son don't want to leave, bro. That's why, from what I heard, that's why him and Prime are beefing. Cause he like, bro, I like it here, Dad. I like it here. I think I can stay here. I think this is cool, bro.
What's up, Hello?
Yeah, bro. Apparently, him and Shiloh beefing. I think Shiloh like, bro, I'm not on board with this. I don't
Hey,
want to
so
go to
T,
Colorado.
real quick, what does success look like in Colorado for Coach Prime?
Probably a bowl game within the first 3 years, maybe 4.
Bowl game? That don't mean nothing.
Hold on. I ain't finished. and by year 4, by year 4 and 5, like, you got to get some guys pro. Have to.
Nah, yeah, you gotta get some guys pro. I think that's the
All
big
right,
thing.
bro. Question: are we comparing this success, right? Because I'm comparing success directly to Jackson State, bro. Like, maybe that's not fair to me. Maybe I should just compare his success at Colorado separate from anything else he's ever done. But I'm holding up what he did at Jackson State, and I'm holding up what he's going to do at Colorado, and I'm going to look at them directly when I decide if he's a success or not.
I agree with that statement.
You got to go further than what you did at Jackson State.
I agree with that statement in the sense of culture, and I feel like you hit it on the head, Bryce. Like, if he can turn Colorado into the modern day U, then we're talking. But like, I just feel like getting to the bowl games and winning 10 games for 2 or 3 seasons in a row, all that kind of stuff, like, that's nice. That's football. But what he was doing at Jackson State was also culture. So if you can turn Colorado into something that can be a spark for the culture, which is an extremely uphill battle, then I could rock with it. But that's how I'm judging the success.
If you can win with the best running back from Denver or Boulder and beat teams that got the best running back from the Bay, then you the man. But
bro, because you're not getting 80, you're not getting, unless Prime is like a snake, is just the smartest guy of all time when it comes to young people, bro. You're not getting 80 Bamas that could go to Miami, that could go to Florida State, that go to University of Florida, that go to Alabama, that go to all these, you go to USC. You're not getting 80 of those guys to come to Colorado, bro.
You're
So
not.
now we about to figure out how good of a coach you really are. You know what I'm saying? We about to figure out.
You're not getting 80 parents to go to Colorado. I got a friend. Her son played for the U. Played for Miami, bro. I feel like every 3 weeks she's in Miami. Like, if you don't think that's part of the recruiting package, that every time you come to see your son, you go to South Beach, like.
Yeah. Hey, bro. I mean, that's something to think about too. It's like, bro, it's a lot that goes into this right here, man. And I wish Deion all the success, of course. Like, I wish him the success. I think that's nothing that's getting lost, bro. You can comment on somebody's actions, bro, and disagree or feel like they didn't maximize their potential and still wish them the best in their next endeavor. And I think we all wish Deion the best.
Want him to
but
win.
like reaching that best, it's not going to be easy, bro. It's not going to be easy. I don't think it's going to be as easy as Deion thinks. And I ain't even going to lie, that speech he gave that I'm coming. Let them know. I'm coming. I was like, hey, bro, I was getting hyped. I was feeling like, hold up, bro. Like, did y'all see that? Did y'all see that speech he gave to the Colorado players?
Hype over Dan Campbell, too. So
I did get hyped over Dan Campbell. Yes. Bro, come on, bro. If you
don't sleep on the Lions.
Get hyped over Dan Campbell.
I watched Deion talk to the Colorado team, and I just felt like if I was sitting in that audience, I'm calling my mom saying I'm transferring out. Like, I'm texting her, like, hey.
T just don't want to be in Colorado, bro. T just don't want to be in Colorado.
Player, football players, bro, they be talking. Yo, I was at your son's football game, bro. I watched that coach talk to the kids dirty, bro, and not a parent raising an eyebrow. Because why? That's how you talk in football, man.
That is how you talk in football.
Deion came in there with that football talk, bro. Like,
I remember my son's mom was like, yo, why the coach take him over there for halftime? I was like, because they about to get cussed out. Like, niggas is losing. Like,
no shame too, bro. Like, I don't know what it is about football, but it's just an unwritten rule. You can say whatever the hell you want in football, bro. Like, I done heard coaches say some wild. I done seen coaches, bro, do some wild shit to kids in football, bro. Like I had this one coach, man. What he did to this kid, bro, he drugged this kid literally 20 yards by his face mask, bro, and the kid was just dragging, bro. And then he threw him at the end. And it's just like, bro, like, and no one gave a damn, bro. So now we're in an era where you got to be a little more careful, right? But with the words, that's the last thing to go, is the word. You can't do the actions no more like they used to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the words will be the last thing to go, and you can still talk greasy in football, bro. Deion came in there talking, hey, bro, look at your quarterback. Hey, hold up, bro. Now, if I was the quarterback in Colorado, I might have felt the way, bro. And this is your quarterback right here, bro. I don't care what none of y'all say. And then had the nerve to say, but he got to earn it, though. Wait, what he got to earn? You just told everybody he was the quarterback. And then you said, but he got to earn it, though, bro. I said, nah.
Deion caught himself slipping. That's what happened. He's like, yeah, this the quarterback. I mean, he gonna earn it.
He said, I'm bringing the quarterback. He said he bringing his guys, like, slippery slope, man. Because if you hang around, you bring your guys, and we still get our ass beat. I'm like,
I'm better than this guy. I was a 4-star. This dude was a 3. You know what I'm saying? Get down to that talk. Like, you feel me? That's what's gonna come down to, bro.
That's how you separate the real dogs, though. Because I don't want to hear that, oh, I was a 4-star, he was a 3. Show me. Show me every time you step on the field then, bro.
All right, but, bro, did you hear when he was like, you know, a couple of y'all not going to be playing as much because I'm bringing my own bags. And they Louis.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, bro. Coach Prime be talking that talk, and y'all be acting like he not going to come through, man. Like, I believe in Prime.
Hey, bro, and they Louis, bro. You disrespectful at this point, Coach.
Because as much as you want to say this and that about the recruiting, if I'm a parent, I feel like Coach Prime will be able to talk to me and get me to understand his vision better than a Nick Saban would.
What?
You heard what I said, bro.
I agree with that.
You heard what I said, bro. Like if you're talking just football, and I'm looking at it solely off football. Yeah, maybe Saban stands a chance. But if you're talking about somebody that I'm really going to connect with and I feel like has my child's best interest, like not just football, I'm probably gonna rock with somebody
You
very
know what?
similar to Coach Prime.
I
Bro,
got a story that, hey,
depends
you're
on how
100%
many
right,
stars,
bro.
depends on
You're
how many
100.
stars the kid is, right? If you got a 3-star kid, right, it might matter the culture and all that. If you got a 5-star kid, you going to college for business.
But you might consider something with a little bit of influence. When random story time, real quick. When Rasheed Wallace, bro, back in the day, was choosing his schools, right? Obviously, he ended up going to UNC, right? But Rasheed Wallace at the time was the top recruit, bro. Everybody wanted Rasheed
Out of
Wallace.
Philly.
Could have went anywhere, right? Bruh, you know who he gave a shot to? Howard University, bruh. The president of Howard University, the coach of Howard University, they're in his living room talking to his mom, like, Rasheed, you gonna be a star. You going to the league. You one and done no matter where you go. You going to the NBA. Come here and make us something. You feel me? And like he actually considered it, bro. He actually considered it, bro. You know what I mean? It would be dope if we could get Rasheed Wallace on for an interview. I got inside information. That's how I know about this. But like, if we could somehow get this interview, that would be dope, bro. Because he, at the height, he was considered an HBCU, and if Dion could get kids to consider Colorado in that way, man, the sky's the limit. I think it points to what Rome said, bro. He's gonna be able to get in there and connect with those parents in a way that maybe a Nick Saban can't. But guess what? He won't be able to connect better than a Mike Loxley. You know what I'm saying? Because as much as Dion will be able to connect, right? Dion, you were still the most gifted athlete, bro. Most kids
Yeah,
not gonna do that, bro.
nah, that's facts. That's big facts. All right, man, it's getting late. Let's take a hard turn, man. This Dion conversation is a good one. We'll definitely double back to it because we got to check up on that success, man, or lack thereof in the future. But let's take a hard turn to the NFL, man. Let's talk about the playoffs real quick before we get up out of here. But let's start in the NFC, man, because as we know, we got the Commanders, we have the Giants, and we had them play to a tie, man. So a tie is worse than a loss, in my opinion. I never know how I really feel about it. So let's start with G. Let's start with G because he's always bringing the energy, right? So G, man, like how much did you cry when that kick was short?
How much did you cry and bless your God that that shit didn't go through? That's the real question. Did you and Bryce kiss each other in the mouth because y'all ain't lose? Y'all hug each other? That's what happened? Did y'all pray? Did y'all what's going on? Oh my God, what happened to like my defense is the top two and we're not talking about two. Oh Heineke this, remember that. What happened? I didn't care. It was a fucking tie. What am I supposed to say? Yeah, we tied. Do I sound like a Commanders fan over here?
Which you sound like is a sad Giants fan. A Giants fan that has no ammo because he knows his team could barely even tie with the Commanders that are so terrible.
And
I
y'all
mean,
didn't beat us
we
neither. So what
we
are you
looking at the
saying?
game, and I think Bryce might have said it on the pre-show. Really, the only thing the Giants have that are better than the Commanders is a better quarterback, and that's only by a small margin. Because when you watch the game, it looks like Daniel Jones is the entirety of the offense. I mean, he had more rushing yards than Saquon. I mean, without Daniel Jones, I don't know what you guys would be doing. You guys probably wouldn't be doing much at all. You had one real good drive, and then Taylor Heineke had a fumble that kind of spotted you guys some points, which led to the tie that Ron kind of played into. He didn't really go for it, which is a disappointment. But look, man, I don't think I said it last week. Y'all are about to lose out. You're grasping at straws, G. Y'all are about to lose out. This tie was the closest you're gonna get to a win for the rest of the season, man. So I just expect that bag to be on your head come 2023. Bryce, what was your thought on the Commanders Giants game?
You basically said it all, man. I couldn't agree more, man. But I will say I think one thing I disagree with. I think their quarterback is much better than ours, man. After watching that game, bro, I don't think Zach. I mean, Zach Wilson. I don't think Daniel Jones is one of the better quarterbacks in the league. I don't think he's top half. I don't even think he's top 20. But Heineke's probably like 27, and Jones is probably like 21. You know what I'm saying? 22. And that gap right there, and when it comes to quarterback, that's a wide gap, man. That's a wide gap, man. Daniel Jones proved that to me. He made some big time throws, had a couple drops in there too on some very well placed deep passes. Yeah, Heineke just doesn't have that in his arsenal. But what Heineke has got the Commanders this far. So hopefully it keeps working.
Nah, facts, facts. T, man, your 49ers, man. Jimmy G took another bat or took a injury. You got another quarterback that's down possibly for the rest of the year. Now you guys look to be rocking with Brock Purdy. Similar situation to my Commanders, man. Brock is the guy that has the locker room, but he's not necessarily the most talented QB. How are you feeling for the rest of this season about your 49ers?
I feel good.
Ooh.
No,
How
look, let me get into it because let me talk about the Giants and Skins real quick before the Commanders. And my Niners real quick. I was a little disappointed in that game, especially from two teams that could potentially make the playoffs. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it's me, but I felt like in overtime both teams were okay with a tie. Like,
yeah.
I didn't feel like one team like was like, man, we either gonna win or lose. It is what it is. We rolling the dice. Let's get it. And maybe it was smarter that way, right? Because now these daggone playoff scenarios are about to go crazy because you fools got ties. But that just told me within that game, there's not a team that has a chance to win the Super Bowl. But back to my 49ers.
Hey, hold up. Before we go any further, that's what y'all see why I didn't ask T about that game? Because I knew he had some slander. That man just took a jab at the Commanders and Giants at the same time. Like, at the same time. He's slick with it.
T, thank you. Because I'm acknowledge that. Because I never said we were a Super Bowl contending team. I said we're a playoff contending team. You're gonna make
neither Bryce nor myself. Nor myself said that.
These two bozos over here, out here. Heineke, my Lord and Savior.
Hey, look,
we're gonna win.
Some guys go to the party to get the phone number. Some guys go to the party to GTD. You know what I'm saying? You know what GTD means, G?
I don't know. It sounds spaghetti.
Draws, dog. That's what we in this thing for, baby. We trying to get to the Super Bowl. We trying to get the draws. Y'all boys playing to get the number. Y'all just want to get into the playoffs. Your fan base happy getting into the playoffs. If the 49ers go to the playoffs and lose the first round, that's a disappointing season.
Right, no, it wasn't until Jimmy G started playing again. It would actually been a great season. If Trey Lance did it, y'all would have been telling it would have been an amazing season. So I don't want to hear that, man. Well, let's backtrack a little bit real quick because Trey Lance is going out of control.
Quarterback, right? And even now that we got a third stringer, Mr. Irrelevant, right? If he gets to the playoffs, he needs to win more than one game for me to believe in him. Like,
so you won't be believing in Brock Purdy this go round, man.
You know why I believe in him? Because I've seen Rex Grossman go to the Super Bowl. I've seen Trent Dilfer go to the Super Bowl, and it's about time a quarterback that isn't the face of a franchise gets back. Because every once in a while we get one of those guys, right?
Like a Heineke.
Hold on, I don't know.
That's fine. Fuck you guys. I'm going home. Get me out of here.
I don't know if it's Geno Smith. I don't know if it's Brock Purdy, but I know it ain't Heineke and Danny Dimes. After what I just seen, like, it's not them. I made them, right? It's not them. And before that, I thought Heineke could make a run. After that playoff game, after that little tie bowl, whatever that is, no.
I don't know how you thought Heineke was going to make a run based off. Like I had Washington get into the playoffs, but we was never going to get the draws the way that you put it.
I'm blaming it on the coaching staff. I feel like Scott Turner, Ron Rivera, somebody in that org, somebody in that locker room, somebody in that coaching staff was okay with getting a tie. Like the players
play for a tie. I told Ron.
If I can keep it all the way 100, bro, because I be watching some of the all 22. If you're a coach of football and you watch the film on Heineke, bro, you're gonna play for ties. Like he's got the locker room, he's got the little moxie or whatever, bro. But he's not the guy that you say, yo, I know you can make these throws on this last drive. Like you don't
crazy.
You don't really believe it, though.
Crazy, bro.
You don't really believe it. That's the problem. As a coach, you can't look at the tape and be like, yo, this is my guy.
Bro, Danny Dimes is playing for a contract. Heineke is playing for his future. You can roll the dice with those guys. You absolutely can. Like right
Not
now,
in that game.
bro.
I
Right
would
now,
I would have waited too, to be honest. I hate playing for a tie, but I feel like you mentioned it. Like it was probably the smarter thing because now both teams are still alive.
like
And both teams know that they're hanging on by a thread.
right now, my man Brock Purdy is playing for his future. Right, he could potentially make this a RG3 Kirk Cousins situation, depending on how he finishes the season. 4th and 5 with the lead.
All right, let's get back to these 49ers because I think you're putting a lot of faith in Brock Purdy. Like the way you even said, "Oh, I feel good about this situation." Like he was Mr. Irrelevant for a reason, my guy.
Listen to me. 4th and 5 with a lead with Jimmy G at quarterback. Kyle Shanahan punts the ball. I promise you, he punts the ball or he calls a run for Debo or something, bro. 4th and 5. My man, Brock Purdy, they called a passing play, all vertical routes. Throw that joint downfield, bro. Like that lets me know that Kyle Shanahan believes in him. I heard Kittle talk. I heard Fred Warner talk. And if you remember when we talked about Trey Lance, I was saying that I really didn't like how the locker room talked about Trey Lance. They kind of said, he'll get there. He's a student. He works hard, yada, yada, yada. When they're talking about Purdy, they're saying, bro, we like the kid. He attacks us at practice. Like we know he has that in him. Like he like they talk about him the same way they talk about Jimmy G. So I believe in the locker room. Even in basketball, like I believe when a team likes who they're playing with, the chemistry is there. They play better, right? Because otherwise, why would we talk about chemistry in the sport? And I think Brock Purdy to get the 49ers over at least a 1-game playoff hurdle. In fact, this next game is going to be the test, right? Brock Purdy said it himself. He said, Tom Brady has been playing football longer than I've been alive, right? How he approaches that game and the plays called in that game are going to let me know how the rest of my season is going to go. Right now, I'm a believer. But that game is going to let me know what's going to happen for the rest of the season. So if you really want my real opinion, you got to wait till we play Tampa Bay, a team we would.
Wow, bruh. You just said a lot boosting up Brock Purdy to be like, yeah, but wait till next week to get my real thoughts. Like, nah, bruh. You got y'all going to the bowl still. Y'all are still getting the drawers, right?
Listen to me. Just like Taylor Heineke, right? You said you didn't believe in him. You said you would play for a tie. I totally disagree. But you're exactly right. If you're playing for a tie with Heineke, you do not believe in him. Period. So if the 49ers come out and they play super reserve with Brock Purdy and they hand the ball off 45 times, I know they don't believe in him. It doesn't matter what I believe.
Nah, that's facts. That's facts. But what do you believe is the question. Like, how do you feel about your 49ers? Are y'all still winning the West? Y'all still getting to repeating the NFC Championship game?
I mean, a healthy Jimmy G, I think this is a Super Bowl NFC Championship team easily. Brock Purdy, like I said, I think just for me to even want him on this team next year, he needs to get to the playoffs and win a game. Just for me to even want him on the team.
I don't know, man. I feel like you said a lot to be like, but wait for my real thoughts next week. Like you left us on some to be continued type shit.
I got to see what Kyle Shanahan like. Kyle Shanahan went in the press conference and said that guy got big balls. So I think I know how he feels already, but I got to see it, right? It's just words. I got to see the play calls.
All right, quick hits. G, what do you think the 49ers are going to do with Brock Purdy?
What's his schedule?
What's their schedule?
We still got we got Commanders left. We got Tampa next week. We got Seattle left. We finished with the Cardinals. I think that's 4 games. I can't remember.
Oh, he goes 4-0.
I can't remember if we got one more thrown in there.
You guys go 4-0.
Bryce, quick hit, man. What you think the 49ers going to do with Brock Purdy?
Bro, G, you gotta put that shit down, man. Whatever you be on, bro, put that shit down, bro.
Bro, y'all not about to beat them. Y'all not beating that defense. Y'all think Taylor Heineke gonna beat that defense?
We damn sure can tie him.
No. Let me say it again for you. No. Let me say it for you in Espanol. No.
Bro,
let me say it to you in Greek.
They're not gonna be scoring points on my defense, bro.
And French.
Because nobody.
I know. Sacre bleu.
Nobody.
Let me say it to you in every other language that I know. No.
Bro, but nobody's scoring points on my defense. But this isn't about my defense.
We scored 20 on you guys. So what are you talking about?
All right, bro. Because that's a lot of points in the NFL. All right.
We got
Yeah, that's enough to beat you guys.
You're right. That's a lot of
That's
points.
to tie you.
You're right, bro. Good job. Y'all scored 20. How many touchdowns? 2. Good job, bro.
It's still 20.
Hey, but
It don't matter. It's still 20.
Back to your 49ers, man, with Brock Purdy. Interesting name there. I did like what I saw. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like he understands the offense early on. I don't think that I can bank on it though. I'd say they go 500. I'd say they split. There's 4 games left for y'all.
5
games. Division games always a toss up. So you got Seattle, toss up.
And the Cardinals.
Toss up.
That's not a toss up. That team is booty.
It's definitely
With Brock Purdy, man, that's a toss up.
Division game, it's a toss up, bro. So then you're looking at the Commanders and who else, bro?
Commanders,
Raiders.
Commanders, Raiders. Who's the last one?
Tampa.
Okay, so
No,
Tampa, that's an L, bro. Y'all saw what Brady just did, bro. Brady just resurrected like the Undertaker, bro. Y'all saw that on live TV. That man is different. Bro. I got y'all losing to Brady. Now, Commanders game, that can go either way. I got it as a tie. No, real talk, I do. That's what I'm marking that down as. I'm marking that one as a tie. And then that gives you y'all's last game, the Raiders, man. I think y'all beat the Raiders. The Raiders are one of those teams that I really hate picking, bro. I hate picking winners for the Raiders. I hate picking against the spread for the Raiders. You just don't know what Raiders going to show up, bro. Are we going to get the good Raiders or the bad Raiders, bro? We're going to get the Raiders that they won a ball. We're going to get the Raiders that, for like getting like no running game, no passing game. Like you just don't know what you're going to get. Are we going to get 35 fantasy points from Derek Carr? Or are we going to get 7 fantasy points from Derek Carr? Like, bro, damn, if he's your starting quarterback, I feel bad for you. But I'm talking about fantasy football. So yeah, I got y'all. I guess that's I say 3-2. I give y'all 3-2, man. I see y'all getting 3 more. Y'all got 7 right now? 7 wins?
8.
Yeah, they're 8-4 right now.
11-win football team. Y'all 10-win football team. 2-3, bro. 2-3. Y'all not an 8-win football team. I'm gonna say you're not 11-win football team, bro. I'm sorry.
I got them going like 10-7. I think y'all lose that game to Seattle and they get the division now, though.
Yeah,
maybe I'm wrong about Brock Purdy though.
Seattle game scares me a little bit. Tampa doesn't really scare me. Like Tom Brady can't move and we can pass rush, so and they don't have their linemen. Same thing like Miami. No linemen. Bosa had 3 sacks. Expect Bosa to get at least 2 against Brady next week.
No, I hear that. I just think I think that game's gonna be hella tight because I like Tampa's defense against a Brock Purdy led offense. But if it's tight, man, I gotta go with the GOAT. I mean, we saw what he just did last night with 8 seconds left.
I never bet against Tom Brady, so I'm being a little biased here. You know what I'm saying? I'm being a homer because I never bet against Brady.
So for me, I got you guys going 4-1. Y'all gonna lose to the Raiders. The Raiders are too hot.
They are hot, bro. They are hot.
I don't think y'all beating the Raiders.
You think that Raiders heat gonna last, bro?
Hey,
hell yeah. They just beat your boy wrong #1 quarterback in Justin Herbert.
Yeah, nah, the Raiders. You're right, Bryce. The Raiders are one of the hardest teams to predict because it's like, is Josh Jacobs gonna go for 200 yards? You look at Devontae Adams' game log this season. How are they losing? You know what I mean? Like, is Derek Carr gonna be nice? Like, when the Raiders are rolling, bro, they're not one of the bottom feeders in the league.
Hot take. Josh Jacobs is the best running back in football right now.
Yes.
That's what I don't know if he's the best, but he's top 5, bro.
Yes.
He's top 5.
I don't throw that best around casually. First
bro,
off,
even
like,
if
you gotta really become the best. You gotta take that spot, bro.
All right, let's say you top 3, right? You got a top 3. Let's say you top 5.
They ain't top 3 to me, bro.
Let's say you top 5, right? You still got a top 5 running back and a top 5 receiver.
All right, but wait, real quick on Josh Jacobs. I like Josh Jacobs coming out, so I'm not trying to shit on him, right?
Bro.
But let's not forget, his team didn't pick up his 5th-year option, bro.
Right.
I think they look crazy for that, though.
No. The thing was at the time, they weren't all that crazy for that, bro, because he hadn't really done much, and he had been hurt a whole bunch, bro.
Bro, this season,
I disagreed with it when they didn't do it.
I did too, but still, he did. If there should be no question, bro. If he's the back that y'all telling me he is right now, there should have been no question for him not to pick up.
Bryce, you want to know who's the leading rusher right now?
Who?
and by 200 yards,
I don't know.
it's Josh Jacobs. It's 1,303. The
Bro,
next
that's
the next
cool.
running
That's
back.
cool. Bro, that's great. He can lead. He can lead. He can lead in yards right now. That's great, bro. First off, we'll see where it is when the season ends, bro.
Eyeball test. Guys are making business decisions when he got the ball, bro. People are not.
He's a dog. I'm just not calling him the best, bro. And I've been seeing that going around, bro. I've been seeing that going around, and it's just he's not the best.
But you know what, Bryce, you made a good point though about the you made a good point about the 5th year option though, because I think that sparked something in him. I feel like them not picking that up made him go a little bit harder, and I think that's what we're seeing right now.
And he balling because he's balling for a check right now.
Yeah,
look at Deron Payne. When you balling for a check, you ball a little different, right? So I respect it. I respect Josh. I respect the hell out of what Josh Jacobs doing, but I'm not putting him over these established. First off, he's not messing. Y'all know how I feel about Derrick Henry. That's the best running back in the league. You give him the ball 25 times, you won the game. That makes you the best, bro. Nick Chubb.
Honestly, I think I'm putting Nick Chubb. I'm putting Nick Chubb above Henry.
Nick Chubb is my next favorite running back. I feel like it's 1A, 1B now. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like he's
a good line. I like Nick Chubb too, but he's running behind a great line.
Yes, but Nick Chubb, bro, that I don't know how he didn't go in the first round, bro. He was like a 3rd or 4th round pick out of Georgia.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Crazy, considering how like the top running backs, how high they go nowadays. But Nick Chubb, that man is unreal. His balance is so crazy, bro. Like every time you think Nick Chubb's going down, it's like he just keeps running full speed all of a sudden. I don't know, bro. I don't know what Nick Chubb does for balance drills. Remember that picture of Nick Chubb when he was in high school? He was just as swole as a grown man with all them little high school runs.
Man.
Crazy, man. That man different. But yeah, Josh Jacobs, I give him top 10. I don't think he's better than Mixon. Come on, bro. He ain't better than Joe Mixon. Right
all I'm telling you is I'm watching all these running backs from week to week. Josh Jacobs is the only running back I see linebackers not squaring up. Like
Josh Jacobs is top 5, bro. He's definitely top 5.
He's having a top 5 season. I'll say that, but he's not top 5.
Josh Jacobs run the ball up the middle and run to the linebacker. He ain't trying to run like he trying to deliver a blow. Like,
but bro, all right, I gotta go back through Josh Jacobs' game logs, but off my like memory, I feel like he's getting fat in a few games, bro. This is Derrick Henry's. This is people make this criticism about Derrick Henry all the time, right? But the difference is, to me, when Derrick Henry does it, he wins the game, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he wins the game every time he does it.
I'll give you that because Derrick Henry is the Titans, right? Like if Derrick Henry not winning them the game, they're not winning the game at all.
Give them, but the thing, the formula is get a man 25 carries, and you're gonna win the game. I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with the Titans, bro. They be on some nut shit over there, bro. They need help, bro. But just get the ball, get a man the ball. Stop throwing the ball. Stop throwing the ball. Give Derrick Henry the ball 25 times. You see how the parity in the NFL has been crazy this year, right? You got all these teams that are in the hunt, right? Have you guys seen how many more teams are running the ball right now? Like running the ball will keep you in the hunt, bro. Like running, if you have a good defense, you don't need a great quarterback to succeed, bro. And I think the NFL is finally realizing that again.
I'm
loving it.
I'm a big believer in that too because I feel like the game changes every few years. I feel like it got real pass heavy, and in order to counter that, you got to bulk up and get a Josh Jacobs type of running back, get a Derrick Henry type. Because like you said, T, that's why they're not screwing up. Because we got these small linebackers nowadays. Everybody wanted to get these speed linebackers. You basically got DBs in the linebacker position. They're not taking down no Josh Jacobs. They're not taking down that type of back.
Bro, you know what it's kind of like, yo? remember when you were a kid and you was playing Pokemon, and you had those like Pokemons that had like two abilities, like they might have been fire and like fucking like a flying joint. So now they got to take the weakness of both of those. You know what I'm saying? So now like they got to take the water weakness because they fire, but then they got to take whatever the flying dude's weakness is too whenever they get hit by another Pokemon. And I feel like that's what's going on in the NFL, right? They love the passing game and they change the defenses to match that, right? But now you opened up two weaknesses at the same time. And if you get teams that come in and exploit both of those weaknesses at the same time, like you're seeing a lot of these 7-win teams doing, bro. The Giants are doing it. The Commanders are doing it. The Titans are getting back to it finally, right? I mean, we just mentioned even the 49ers, bro. They've been doing it for
the whole time.
They're the blueprint for not having an elite quarterback when nobody's really following it. You know what I'm saying? And like, yo, it's gonna put those pass heavy teams in a lot of trouble, because what you're seeing now is you're seeing teams that dedicated to that pass game, and look at them. Look at Justin Herbert, bro. You know why? Because the Chargers dedicated everything they had to that pass game, bro. Look at the Broncos, bro. You know what I'm saying? They trying to run around that pass game. They trying to chase that.
Even the Packers, man. I would say they should lean more on their backs as well.
Yeah, bro. Like, you try and chase that pass game, if it ends up working for you, you're in a good spot, because it's hard to stop. It's very hard to stop when it clicks. But yo, the path to get there, it's like you chasing your tail until you get there. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think some of these NFL teams realizing what they're doing and chasing that pass game, bro.
Well, you know, you don't want to be late. You don't want to be late to the party. Like, you want to be ahead of the wave. And right now, 3rd and 3, people want to run the ball. Like, so if you got all these 225-pound linebackers in the game, and the other team is like, we running the ball, period. Like, I don't care what you line up out there. You in a bad spot, bro. You need somebody that can go in there and make a tackle more than you need somebody that can cover in that situation. And like you said, the Cardinals, the Chargers, those teams that do Packers, the Packers changed their whole model. The teams that did want to rely on the pass, you can't. You can't.
Right. And you know what the pass does two things, right? Relying on the pass, obviously, it gives you more explosive plays, right? But what that does, really what the pass game does, what I've realized, bro, I wonder if coaches think about it this way. A great passing game just gives you more possessions, bro. That's what it does. Mm-hmm. Because your possessions, they're either over quick because you got a pick or a quick 3 and out, or you scored a quick tud. So like, either way, bro, you're making the game more possessions, right? So what happens to these passing teams when they go against these teams that all they do is run, bro? Now guess what? Instead of your 20 possessions in the game to be a great passing offense, now you got 5 of them. Bro. You're used to getting 12, 13 of these possessions.
Now
5 of them, bro.
Now those possessions have to hit now. You can't have those misses.
On a 2 out of those 5, and he's looking like he's trash. But it's like, no, he's not really trash. He's just not getting 15 possessions every single game no more, bro.
Yeah, it's the scheme.
Not realizing about the pass game, and that's what these teams that's chasing it not realizing too. Because these teams that's chasing it, they're still getting their 12, 15 possessions, right? Because they're going 3 and out all crazy, whoopie-whoop, whatever. But they're getting them, and they're not doing nothing with them. So now you have you're in the pass game, but you're just bad at it, and you're chasing it. You're constantly chasing it, trying to get better. It's a never-ending cycle unless you find,
I think, man, time of possession is huge in a football game. And you keep your defense fresh when you can run the ball and keep the other, keep them on the sidelines. And when you pass the ball, bro, I see this just watching Little League football. A pass play has so many other points of failure than a run play. And sometimes we can run the ball, we can just snap the ball to the quarterback, and all we got to do is block and not hold, right? A pass play, you got to get the snap. Receivers have to run good routes. They got to get open. They got to create separation. Hopefully nobody fall. Hopefully it's not an interception. Hopefully if he do catch the pass, he don't drop it. You know what I'm saying? If he do catch it, he don't fumble it. Like, it's so many more ways to fail on a passing play than it is on a running play. And if you don't hit on a passing play, you stop the clock. Like you said, the time of possession.
When I was coaching, bro, the year I was coaching, our best play was fucking QB sneak, man. Like, I ran it 3 times in a row, and we scored a touchdown, and everybody was like we got like 10, 15 yards the first one, and I was like, yo, back to the line, same jump. Back to the line. You know what I mean? Like, because you're right, T is the simplest thing, bro. Like, run the ball straight, and if you really want to get fancy, run it to your left or your right. But the pass plays take technique and skill from the entire team. That's why it looks so pretty when it does work. Because like you said, you can have, like, I'll be watching all 22. it's much more plays that are open and missed as far as what you don't notice is the left tackle got beat, but the dude was wide open down the right sideline, and the QB would have hit him, but he didn't have the time because your left tackle got beat, or your back missed a block on a blitz. You know what I mean? Like it could just be one or two things. Like your right guard's pass technique isn't well enough. You know what I mean, to run a bunch of pass plays because he'd be getting beat. Like those small little things be messing up the pass game. Whereas the run game is simple and straightforward, man. Like, and it gets your linemen active and enjoying the game because they realize like how much they mean to that part of the game as opposed to
but you know, we giving the run game a lot of love, but everything has its weaknesses, right? And you know, like we kind of outlined the pass game's weaknesses right there. You know what I'm saying? And if exploited, you can use it to your benefit. But the run game, right? Like it has its problems too. You feel me? And it's hard to do. You got to be a lot more because like we already said, right? You're getting less possessions whenever a team is dedicated to the run game. That game is going to have less possessions in the game, right?
You can't miss field goals.
You can't miss field goals. You can't have a holding penalty. You can't do 1st and 20 because your first down play is only going for 4 yards because you were running team. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's so many factors, bro. And like the best teams right now are like thriving in the passing game, right? And I think the next wave of football, you know, as a game, like the next champion that runs off a few of them will be dominant in that running game. You know what I'm saying? But after that, bro, you're going to have a mix of both. And as a team that really gets that healthy mix, you just don't see that healthy mix, though. It's like you either a running team or you a passing team. Ain't nobody really both. I say the Eagles are the closest right now, but even they passing game don't feel real.
As a play caller, you gotta know how to have your balance, right? Because the play action is one of the most deadly plays in all of football at any level. If you can execute that right, if you bust off, you know, a 4-yard run, a 6-yard run, a 7-yard run, a 2-yard run, then all of a sudden you hit them with a play action because you just running. That's killer. It freezes the linebackers. All of a sudden you don't need an elite quarterback because your receiver's able to get that much more separation because dudes are paused at the play action because you've been running it so much.
Cowboys are a balanced team.
Yeah.
They are. They really are. And you see the last 7-8 weeks, they've been killing it. You know what I'm saying? They've been the best team in the NFL, maybe, right? But since that came back, at least. But that's the key, bro. The best coordinators, yo, are the ones that are gonna be balanced, and the best teams are the ones that be balanced, bro. You gotta aim for that balance, bro. Like when the Chiefs was really nice, they had that balance, I feel like, and I feel like they're getting away from it a little bit. You see the Bills, they're not really about balance. I feel like the top of the league right now outside the Eagles, bro, it's about that passing game.
I think that's been the Bills' biggest problem. Whenever we talk about the Bills the last few years, that's been my knock on them is Josh Allen is their run game. And it's very similar to when the Panthers had Cam Newton. I don't believe that can work. I don't believe the Eagles with Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields in Chicago, your quarterback can't be your number one rusher. I don't think that's a recipe for success.
Hey man, it's gonna be another good week this week in the NFL, bro. I'm hyped for it, man. It's always good when your team has a bye week and you can just watch without the stress, without the heartache. You know what I'm saying? You just be sitting back and watching these teams lose, man. Watch the NFC East lose, hopefully. But hey man, another good show tonight, man. I feel like we dove into some conversations that aren't really talked about, especially in that football conversation. That was in the Coach Prime conversation, man. Kudos to everybody tonight because I think we brought it, man. So good work, fellas. Anybody got any closing thoughts?
You guys are bozo except for Rome. I mean T.
Just throwing out
we'll see you in 2 weeks, G. After that Sunday night loss, I want the bag on the head. I don't even want to wait till 2023.
I might go to the game. What's up, G? Let's go to it, man. You want to lose in person? We'll think about it. We'll talk.
All
right.
Y'all still bozos, though. Both of you bozo. Bunch of bums.
Hey, man. Well, whatever you call us, you know how we got to end this show, man. Sports for the culture.
Sports for the culture.
Sports for the culture.